Okay, this is Math 7, Week 3, and we're going to talk about getting ready for expressions, inequalities, equations, quiz 1, 2, and 3. So let me scroll down, do quiz 1. You ready? Apply the distributive property to factor out the greatest common factor. So the distributive property is when you have a number in front of parentheses. So like x minus 2. And then I would multiply the terms inside of parentheses. So 3 times x is 3x. 3 times 2 is 6. That's the distributive property. But we can also so let me write that down. Distribute. But we can undistribute or factor if we have something like 25x minus 50. If I look at those two numbers and I say, hey, well, I could divide both of them by 25 or by 5, different things, right? So then we could rewrite it in like this after dividing. And you should notice this looks like the original example right here, right? So it's like undistributing. What do we have to do? We have to think about what we can divide both of these numbers by. It has to be the same thing. So right away, I noticed they both have a 0. So I could divide them both by 10. But now I'm thinking about 60 and 20. Actually, those are 60 and 40 are multiples of 20. 2, 4, 6. So I can divide them both by 20. So if you divide them and then you notice, oh, I can divide them further, then just think about what the bigger number, the biggest number, the greatest common factor that you can divide them by. And so 20 is it. So if I divide them both by 20, 60 divided by 20 is, cancel out the zeros, it's 3. And 40 divided by 20 is 2. So the answer to this one is 23m minus 2. Got it. Okay. Which expressions are equivalent? So like we said, distribute, so that'd be 2b plus 6c. 2b plus, okay, that works. And this would be b plus b is 2b, and 3c, that would be 6c. And this would give us 6c, but it would give us 3b. So not that important. So for this one, I had to do the math in my head to figure out what would work. So I knew that this would be 2b plus 6c. And then if we add these b's together, that's 2b. And if we add these 3 c's together, that's 6c. And then here, that's 2b, and 2 times 3 is 6. So do the problem and then do the work for the multiple choice and match them up. Okay. Fractions are your friend. So let's do this one because there's a fraction. What is 1/3 times 3? Well, 3j. So we put the 3 over 1 and then we multiply across. 1 times 3 is 3. 3 times 1 is 3. The j can go right there, and 3. And so that's 3 divided by 3 is 1j, or just j. 1/3 times 6. So again, put the 6 over 1. 1 times 6 is 6. 3 times 1 is 3. 6 divided by 3 is 2. So it's j plus 2. Taking one step at a time, and I think you'll agree fractions are not so bad. Okay. can combine those like terms. I'm not doing that one for you. Factor. All right, so figure out what you can divide all three of them by, and then write that number out front and write your answers on the inside. You can do that one. All right, let's do quiz 2. And of course, post anything in the organizer you want a further explanation about. That's the point, right? All right, quiz 2. Sharon read a 300-page book. She read at a rate of 15 pages per day in D days. All right, so let's make sense of this problem. The book has 300 pages, and she read the whole book. And she read 15 pages per day. So that's, if she had 300 pages to read, then we are taking away 15 pages each day. So after day 1, we can say she was 300 minus 15. That'd be 285. She had 285 left. And then after day 2, we could just multiply that 15 times 2, and then that would be the number of pages left to read, right? So in general, we multiply by the number of days. You can write it like this, times the number of days. And then it'll be 0 when she's read the whole book. So the expression is 300 minus 15D. And we put these two things next to each other because when you're multiplying, you don't have to write the multiplication symbol. If you see a variable next to a number, that means those two things are being multiplied together. But there's a different way that they wanted us to write it. So instead of being discouraged, we're just going to look at what they said and then, so they didn't want me to write it as an expression. They wanted me to write an equation. So instead of subtraction, they wanted to say 300 is equal to 15 times the number of days. So I should have read that more carefully because look, it says right there, write an equation to describe the situation. If I would have read that, I would have got it right. So make sure you read. I know some of you guys are not going to read the question too, so I'm glad I made that mistake. Trent tried to solve an equation step by step. Okay, Trent, find his mistake. Or maybe he didn't make one. Okay, so first I see a fraction equal to a fraction. And now let's look at what he did. So he multiplied by 3, and that's good because this is g over 3, which means g divided by 3. So if g, our variable, is being divided by 3, what we need to do is multiply. And if we multiply by 3 there, you have to multiply by 3 here. And so did he do that? Well, he multiplied by 3 here, but he multiplied by 1/3 here. So step 1 has the mistake. That is not going to work out. A bone. Jada takes her dog Rolo to obedience training once a week. Jada brought a box of 96 dog treats and split them. So as soon as I saw split them evenly, that is division. Did you think division when you saw that? Because I did. You should. Into B bags. Each bag contains 16 treats. Write an equation. I got it this time. So 96 dog treats and B bags. So if you divide it into B, then each bag will have 16. Or we could say B equals 96 over 16. How many bags? So in order to figure that out, we just divide 96 by 16, which is 6. So b equals 6. So again, I don't know which equation they want, but I'm going to write this one and then see if I get it. And I know the answer, 6. Hey, I got it that time. All right. Write an equation. See how I'm like, really attuned to that word equation now. The following statement: 33 is 15 less than k. So we know that the less than sign is like this, but this is talking about an equation, and this is for an inequality. So in this case, the less than means subtraction, because we want it to be that much less, so we want to take away, right? So 33 is 15 less than k. So we have this number k, which we don't know what it is, but we know that if we take away 15 less, that would equal 33. So we've set up an equation, k minus 15 equals 33. And in 6th grade, you should have learned to solve that equation by getting k by itself. In order to do that, we have to add 15 back to the left side and to the right side. And now draw a line where equal sign is. And so that would be 8. That would be 48. Of course, you can check your answer. If you subtract 15 from 48, do you get 33? Yes, you do. K minus 15. Okay, and you can figure out that last one. Now, quiz 3. Let's do it. Okay, which of the x values are solutions to the following inequalities? So if we substitute 15 in, will it make a true inequality? 30 is less than x. X is greater than 15. So I'm going to put 15 in there. 30 is greater than 15. 15 is greater than 15. Uh-oh. 15 is not greater than 15, so that doesn't work. How about 30 is greater than 22? 22 is greater than 15. That's true. That's true. So that works. If 22 works, 30 is greater than 29. 29 is greater than 15. That's true. That's true. So, B and C. Substitute. Mariana wears her winter coat when the temperature is colder than -4 degrees Celsius. Write an inequality that is true only for temperatures T at which Mariana wears her winter coat. Okay, so the temperature T, if it's less than, not colder than -4. All right, so if it is -4, I don't think she's wearing her winter coat. I hope she's wearing a coat. But if it's less than -4, she's wearing her winter coat. Which of the x values are solutions? Well, you could do that one. I just did that one. Attila the Hun was a ruler of the Hunnic Empire. The Romans feared him greatly until his death. He made it quite a habit of invading. The Romans no longer feared him after his death in 453. Let x represent any year. Okay, x is a year. Write an inequality in terms of x in 453 that is true only for the values of x that represent the years after Attila the Hun died. So he died in 453, and x represents a year. Okay, so the years after he died after 453, so x, the years after would be greater than 453. any year after 453 is when he died, a long time ago. Okay, you can figure that one out. All right, so there you go. Week 3, give it a try, post in the organizer.